What is a test? A ticking clock? Questions to answer? A score? Let's hear from 4 students what a test felt like for each of them. The 8th grade social studies class was taking a history test. Julia felt ready. She started strong and gave each answer her best. Clear causes, solid evidence, even a thoughtful conclusion. Only then did she look up and freeze. 15 minutes left, 4 questions still blank. Her pencil raced, but she finished only one before Ms. Ramirez said, "Time's up," and collected her paper mid-sentence. A hot wave of frustration rose as she watched the paper being taken away. If only she'd had a little more time. She thinks, is a test a race against time? The 7th grade English class was taking a non-fiction comprehension test. Peter usually liked these passages. He read carefully, underlined key points, and started answering with confidence. But today, chasing time, he moved too fast. Without noticing, he answered the question for the next passage, instead of the one he had just read. Worse, the 2 questions were opposites. One asked for a true statement supported by the text, and the next asked for a false one. Peter didn't realize it until the test came back, marked wrong. How he wished he'd been given a second chance. He thought, is a test a once-in-a-lifetime performance? Students in grade 6 were writing a qualifying math test, and Martha was well prepared. She moved through the questions with steady confidence, working at a pace that would let her finish on time. By the end, she felt satisfied, almost sure she'd done enough to qualify for the advanced math track. She needed more than 90%. When the papers came back, she froze at the big, bold 89% on the top of her sheet. Heart racing, she flipped through until she found it. One tiny slip. Just one digit copied wrong. 3.8 instead of 3.6. Everything after that was correct. Her steps, her method, her arithmetic. She had calculated perfectly, just with the wrong number. Martha's eyes filled with tears. She thought, is a test only about precision? 7th grade students were writing the qualifying exam for the Science Scholar Team, the group that got extra labs, special projects, and a chance to present at the year-end showcase. Science was Adam's favorite subject. He had worked hard for this exam and walked in eager to earn his place. But that morning he had a severe cold, runny nose, stinging eyes, and a throat that scratched every time he swallowed. He kept wiping his face and blinking hard, trying to focus, but the words on the page blurred and time slipped away as he reread questions he normally would have answered easily. Eventually, frustrated and exhausted, Adam set his pen down and rested his head on his arms. He already knew. Today's score wouldn't reflect what he knew, and it wouldn't be enough to make the team. He thought, is a test a measure of stamina? 4 students, 4 moments, 4 questions. What if we've been thinking about tests all wrong? What if a test could be something different? At Atelius, we thought of something different. A checkpoint, a student-led moment that gathers evidence of learning over time, not just one score. A checkpoint is a pause on the trail to look back at your journey and mark places you want to revisit, now or later. So instead of tests, we have daily reflections that make progress visible. 2. Weekly check-ins that keep them moving towards mastery. 3. Peer reviews that bring fresh eyes to spot gaps and strengthen ideas. All this collects in a portfolio, a living record of their work over time. Finally, the Expo, an opportunity to showcase their process, evidence, and growth. At Atelius, checkpoints replace tests with fair, ongoing evidence. Students aren't labeled by a score, but they are understood through their learning journey.